Healing Life. This is going to be an introduction video. This is also going to be a video I'm going to be talking about my introduction and how I started reading tarot cards over 20 some years ago. So again, my name is Imam. I got my first tarot deck. I was in college. I was a sophomore in college years ago. And I immediately got the Thoth deck for whatever reason. The Thoth Tarot deck like resonated with me, so that was the deck that I purchased. And I got the deck. I actually ordered the deck offline. I got the deck, opened the deck, and immediately I could understand like, what was the message. I didn't even try to like, pull anything. I opened the box up and I shuffled them, and one fell out, and I immediately knew what the card meant. That scared the living daylights out of me. I'm not gonna lie. So I put the deck back. I put the cards back in the deck. I got a Ziploc bag, and I put some salt in the Ziploc bag, and I closed it up, and I put it in the bottom of my drawer. And I forgot about them cards for years. Then one day I was moving. This is probably, I moved several different times. I would say maybe over, after I got them cards, maybe about 6 or 7 years had went by. And I was moving, and one day, and I found the cards. And I was like, let me give this another try. And I was like, what was I so spooked about? You know what I'm saying? So I got the cards, and then I actually started learning the cards, and I researched the cards, and I got the book and started reading the book and understanding the book. And then that's how I developed my tarot practice. And for new people that are into getting into tarot, tarot is an evolution. You always continue to learn and to develop your skill with tarot. There is so much information that is on one tarot card that it's impossible to really memorize all of that and be able to effectively use it with your intuition to bring forth a message. So that was kind of like my introduction to tarot. And as I continue to keep developing and practicing, like now I've been practicing for I've been practicing heavily for about 10 years, and just continue to develop. It took me a while to feel comfortable with reading for other people. I actually feel more comfortable reading for other people than reading for myself, but I don't like to get readings from other tarot readers. It's a weird thing, I know. I would prefer to pull the cards myself, but I also don't like reading for myself because you're in the energy, especially when it comes to, I'm not gonna lie, like love. I refuse. I will go to another tarot reader for like love and stuff like that. I won't do love readings on myself. I won't do them on myself. But I barely, really even touch topics with clients or with myself about love. I prefer to use the tarot to explore more deeper nuances. I think like relationships and stuff, it's effective. You prefer to do more stuff like ancestor development and helping clients with ascension and leveling up in their spiritual life. I prefer to use tarot for in that instance. I do use it for mundane reasons like earthly things as well. I'm not going to sit here and act like I don't be pulling cards on people, because I be pulling cards on people. But it's only if initiated, or if for whatever reason I feel that I need to get a little bit more information about this person, especially their spiritual makeup. But tarot, again, is something that you continue to develop. You continue to ever learn. So don't ever feel bad for not learning. And the only way you can get good is to continue to practice, especially reading other people. So find you a buddy or something that doesn't mind y'all practicing on each other and giving reads or etc. That was another thing that I did. I had two other people that I used to work with tarot, and we would buddy up and we would exchange readings for each other and help each other foster a community around tarot. So tarot is a very wonderful tool. Tarot can also be, you can get drunk off of tarot, right? I've been there too. So it happens. And I think everybody that really use tarot knows that there's a period in your life, in your tarot reading journey, where you got drunk off of tarot, and it can become a thing where you're just pulling on everything and this and this and this, and you get so inundated with the information that you're getting from tarot. And you have to remember, my first rule of thumb with tarot is not predictive, it's informative, right? It gives you information. When you're doing a tarot reading, what you're doing is you're taking a snapshot of, let's say, the cosmos and the stars and the energy around a certain topic or thing. Just a snapshot, right? The trajectory of that can change. Any of this can change. You also have to forget, and I think people, especially in the spiritual community, forget that people have free will. You can't make somebody do something they don't want to do. Or if the cards say something and someone else makes another decision, the cards didn't lie. The cards told you what the trajectory of the energy was at that moment. And it just so happened that person or outcome changed into something totally, completely different. And that too, what else can you do, right? That too is fine. But anyway, so with that being said, don't be gentle with yourself in tarot. Make sure that you take protections with tarot. Make sure that you are not be direct and mindful of who you are in communication to and with. And a lot of people have questions about who is really answering the questions in tarot. And in my opinion, it depends on the frequency in which you are dialed into, right? It depends on, some people use in different energies when they're doing readings. Some people may also, they have their own kind of way of reading things, right? So you just have to get the practice for yourself and build the practice yourself. Like, you can't look at what somebody else is doing. So there are different ways of doing it. There, people are going to tell you, you got to do this. In my tradition, in my spiritual tradition, in my family tradition, you're supposed to, the elders told me, you're supposed to cover your head anytime you do tarot readings. There are different nuances around that as well. I think you have to find what works for you, and don't try to build your practice off of what somebody else is doing, because that works for them, right? And we all have different traditions and come from different cultural backgrounds, and so that's completely different as well. So don't get drunk on tarot. The rule of thumb, tarot is informative and not predictive. It's just a bunch of cards with pictures on it. At the end of the day, it started out as a card game and was ushered into the spirituality. And I'm not saying it doesn't work, right? Because period, obviously it does, right? But I think people get to, especially like the new, I don't want to say new age decks, these newer decks that have depth to them, like the Thoth deck and the other decks that kind of dig a little bit deeper with the esoteric messages. The Brotherhood of Light deck is another good deck. So yeah, I just wanted to give you guys this information. All right, you guys, again, my name is Imam. I'll be back later. I'll do some things. I gotta go to the gym though, because it's the summertime. All right, y'all, healing light.